Welcome to Framlingham College in Conversation.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Framlingham College in Conversation. I'm Martin Myers-Allen, or Colonel Myers-Allen, Framlingham College Director of Outdoor Education and Officer Commanding the CCF. I'm delighted to be joined today by our highly valued and extremely experienced SSI, Mr. Roy Witham, and two of our pupils, both who are Army cadets. In Year 13, Cadet Warrant Officer Class 1 Annie, and in Year 11, Cadet Sergeant Archie. Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us today for this discussion. In this episode, we want to delve a little into the unique benefits that being a member of the CCF can bring to young people, and chat about what you both, Annie and Archie, feel you have gained from your involvement, and how it has influenced not only your school years, but also your future paths. I've been a member of the CCF over my lifetime for 37 years, 34 years here, and contingent commander for 29 of those years. My Sergeant Major, Roy Witham, has been here since 2006-2007, and the CCF is something that we both are extremely passionate about. So I'm really looking forward to you all sharing your experience with our listeners. Let's start with you, Annie. You were recently selected by Clare, Countess of Euston, His Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Suffolk, as one of 3 recipients of the very prestigious Lord Lieutenant's Cadets Award. Now, I know your nomination came as a result of the hard work and dedication the college has seen in you and the way you do your CCF duties, the way you've done your training to the highest standard, and the significant contribution you've made to the CCF community. Tell me a little bit about how you feel having been awarded this accolade and what you've been involved with to date as being a Lord Lieutenant's Cadet.
So receiving the award was a huge honour, and it was a privilege to be around the other Lord Lieutenants Cadets who had been awarded the certificate and the position for this year as well. They all have really incredible stories to tell, and also seeing many other officers as well who are serving in the military as we speak, or certificates were being awarded for prestigious service within the military, and hearing their stories as well. It was really, really inspiring hearing what they had done and what they achieved throughout their lives. And being in that environment with those people, it was a huge privilege to be there. And the first thing I did with the accompanying the Lord Lieutenant of Suffolk was on Remembrance Sunday, we went to Lowestoft War Memorial, and I had the duty of reading out the list of names for people who were going to lay wreaths. And being in that environment really highlighted the importance of the event, and especially today, what's going on around the world. And it was a huge honour and a privilege to be there and seeing people laying the wreaths one by one from many, many communities around and across Suffolk. It was a moment I won't forget.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant. And can you give us now a little bit of an insight into why you made the decision to join the CCF here, and specifically why the Army section in particular?
So I was in Year 10 when I first joined the Army section, and the Army section really appealed to me. It was very practical, hands-on. You were doing a lot, as I'm one of those people who likes to be doing lots of things. A lot of my friends joined the Army section too, so I kind of just followed the crowd slightly. But as I've gone through the years, I've really become independent in my own person through being in the Army section. And it's really given me loads of accolades and characteristics that I didn't think I had in me. And going through the years, I've become more of a person, more of like an individual, and seeing the potential that the CCF could lead me into in the future.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Annie. Great answers. Hey, now, you know, you've been hugely inspiring to our cadets this year, and we're extremely proud of you and what you've done. So thank you for that. And moving on to Archie. Now, Archie, you have a family history connected to the military. Could you give us a little bit of background about what motivated you to join the CCF at the college, and what are your future aspirations?
Yes, you're right. So my dad was in the military for about 10 years, and even at school, he was part of the CCF, and he was telling me about what fun he had with his mates well, he was part of the Navy section, so he'd go out sailing all the time, but he'd still do exercises like we do today. Now, when I joined the CCF, this just lit a spark in me, thinking, well, this is possibly what I want to do for the rest of my life, maybe. So I am currently at the moment undergoing the Army Officer Scholarship Scheme, and hopefully, if this goes through, I may get a bit of money for the sixth form. So, and then hopefully after that, I will then get a place at Sandhurst and progress my way through the army.
Oh, I think it'll be great and excellent. You've got big dreams, which we know you'll be able to fulfil. And tell me some of your proudest moments so far being in your cadet journey to date.
My proudest moment so far has probably been taking part in the Remembrance Parade. I was colour bearer for the CCF on the Remembrance Sunday Parade. Leading the parade through the chapel was just a brilliant experience, and I hope to cherish this for the rest of my life.
You did that very well indeed. Thank you indeed. And Annie, apart from your recent award, what sticks out for you as a lasting memory of your time with the CCF?
I think there are many parts, like for example, the remembrance services that I've taken part in, and being head of the CCF, I was able to take part on the Saturday, on the 11th of November, the parade that happened then, and that was a huge honour to be a part of. And memories, even from year 10, handling a weapon for the first time and not being able to cock it properly, and Mr. Witham just telling me to eat more Weetabix. And there's moments like that that really push you forward to be like, right, okay, I can do better than this. And just going through the years, like on field weekends when you start to gain leadership roles as you go through the years and go up the stages through the CCF, moments like that really just build your confidence and give you characteristics that you can hold on to for the future.
Oh, no, I agree with that. And thank you, Annie. And we've also just heard about Archie's career goals with the military. And we've also got Mr. Witham here, who's lived the experience of serving his country for about 29 years. He's the fourth Sergeant Major SSI school staff instructor that I've known during my time here, having prior to that being a tank commander for many years. Roy, do tell us a little bit about your military history, because we know we love your stories. You tell us all about it in the common room, and how you got involved in the CCF, and then specifically the CCF at Framlingham College.
How long have we got?
About a fortnight.
It will take that. Okay, so I joined the military in 1976 as a junior leader down in Bovington. I spent 3 terms there because I was on the school's sort of system, and I joined in 1977 the 5th Royal Inniskillen Dragoon Guards out in Osnabrück, as it was then, West Germany. I spent a bit of time on the tank park as a young gunner, going through the proceeds of getting to a crewman, and that means that you do all the jobs on the tank except for the commanders, but when you get to operator, you're then knocking on the door of becoming a commander. My commander, unfortunately, on one particular exercise, managed to lose his fingers on the hatch, and I was duly promoted into commander seat. So that's where I picked up my commander's station there. I was then sent to Catterick as a gunnery instructor, which I thoroughly enjoyed, because there's lads and lass, well, mainly lads then, coming in from Tesco's and other jobs out on Civvy Street there, coming in and joining the forces, training them up into becoming a gunner on a chieftain tank. I then went back to the regiment on promotion to sergeant, then taken over my own troop, and then subsequently staff sergeant, and I had my own troop there, and then went on to SQMS, Squadron Quartermaster, looking after stores, boots and socks and stuff like that. Several trips of Canada, and during my time I had 3 tours of Northern Ireland. On the last one I was promoted to WO2, and I was what's called the A10, the Assistant IO Intelligence Officer. That was a very quiet time for the boys, because that was during Blair's Good Friday Agreement, so no troops was out on the streets, but myself as an intelligence warrant officer was running around with the police doing all bits and pieces like that. cadet training team, I had been on various postings through my career with cadet training teams. 39 cadet training team up in Carlisle in Cumbria. And then I joined 12 cadet training team down in Bovington. That was on long service list, then moved across to Colchester, where I picked up 3 cadet training team. And this is where it starts getting interesting, where I come into the Framlingham fold, because I was going to duly move up to Grantham. My family didn't want to move up to Grantham. They didn't like the area very much. Oh. And then I heard that there was a job going at Framlingham. Applied for it. Didn't think I was going to get it, especially when you saw the SSI from Culford, which was his school. But lo and behold, that evening after the interview, I then got a phone call from your good self, Mr. Myers-Allen, saying, congratulations, you've got the job. I went, oh, right, okay. Thank you very much. Now,
all right,
then here I come.
We saw the twinkle in your eye, and I just knew that you were going to be the kind of character who could lead these cadets forward. And it's been a great time, and you've achieved a lot. Thank you indeed for that. Very impressive.
Thank you, Mr. Witham. You really do have some incredible stories to tell. So, Mr. Myers-Allen, how and why did you get involved in CCF at Framlingham College? What do you love, and what is your vision for the future of the CCF here?
Great. Well, 3 questions in one. Firstly, how did I get involved with the CCF at Framlingham College? Well, I joined the staff here in 1989. At that point in time, as an assistant master, it was just basically expected. You got involved with all aspects of school life. And it was a guy called Hugh Kennan, who I believe at the time was a housemaster of Garrett House. And he just came along to me and said, I think you've got what it takes to actually get involved with the CCF as an officer. Would you please come along and see what you think? And I did, and I loved it, and I joined, and I've never looked back. What do I love about the CCF? I think the main thing is that sense of belonging, that sense of teamwork, that sense of camaraderie, and watching the youngsters learn how to lead, outdoors and in the classroom, a real good sense of having opportunities to lead, because you can be a prefect of the college, which is a fine thing, don't get me wrong, but you've always got people watching over you, whereas in the CCF you're trusted to do a little bit more by yourself under less of a watchful eye, taking that risk where things can go right and can go wrong. But I think you can learn a lot from that, and they do, and it's great to see in college leadership roles just how many people have actually got involved with the CCF during their time here. I think it stands them in good stead for the future. I think it looks great on any UCAS form. I think it looks great for anybody who's thinking about going into the world of work where they've got to look after people properly. I think the military do that very well. The vision for the future of the CCF here at the college, I think it's got a long, long future. I think what happens over time that things like cadet forces fall in favour and fall out of favour with the general public. But at the end of the day, it's been here for years and years and years. It offers a lot. With the cadet expansion programme in the days of Gordon Brown, they wanted state schools to get involved, and they are, because they see the value in what it does. Now, long after myself and the Sergeant Major have gone, we need more officers and more adults coming forward to carry on this vision forward. And it's great to see these people coming forward. We're here for a long time. It's got a good future. And now you know my thoughts on the future. My final question to both of you, Annie and Archie, is what advice would you give to the young people who are interested in joining the CCF?
Well, to anybody wondering, I'd say just do it. I was told by my first housemaster, and he said to me, if you get any opportunity at Framlingham College, just say yes to it. And I feel that has stuck with me throughout my whole time. And CCF was one of those things that I said yes to. And I feel the memories I've made with my friends when out on exercise in -3 degrees or contrast of 25 degrees, I feel it's just a real bonding experience with all your friends, and it's just been a brilliant experience. The CCF has given me many qualities such as leadership, and I feel going into a career in the army, it is just what I need. As going in as an officer, leadership is one of the main principles, and I just think It is going to set me off well in my career. And I think CCF is just a brilliant thing that's helped me achieve that.
Oh, thank you, Archie. And Annie, what are your thoughts?
I completely agree. The memories you make throughout the experience in the CCF, you won't forget. They're unique memories, but also ones that stick with you forever. And advice to young people, I would definitely say take every opportunity that goes your way, including if you have the opportunity to join the CCF or your local army cadets around you. It's an incredible opportunity, and it leads you to so many other things. For example, being part of the CCF, it counts as volunteering for Duke of Edinburgh, bronze, silver or gold. So just taking the opportunities that come your way early really benefit your future, even though you might not know it in the moment. Just the small things like discipline and thinking on the spot, thinking critically, things like that, like life skills that you learn through the CCF, you can really carry forward, especially like this year, for example, applying to university and giving those decisions real thought and carrying the skills that I've learned through the CCF into university. And I'm looking to join the Officer Training Corps at university. So I would definitely say take the opportunity if it's offered to you.
Thank you, and thank you all for joining me on this podcast episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know those listening will have done so too. Sergeant Major, you're remarkable. SSI, and you two, you're both remarkable young people with hugely bright futures. And I'm glad that in some way the CCF has been a part of that journey for you both. Take care to you all, and goodbye.